What's going on, everybody? My name is Ethan Jackson. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to check out the channel. While you're here, you should, take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok. And without further ado, let's get into the hoopla. In this film study, I'm going to showcase how Embiid is looking pretty solid since he's returned from his injury, and I just want to talk about how he unlocks everything for the 76ers team, both on the offensive end and the defensive end, and just kind of how he's warning the rest of the league, sending a warning shot to the rest of the league that they're going to be a tough out when it comes to playoff time. So in these first few clips, I'm simply just going to showcase how dominant Embiid is in one-on-one situations. So in this first clip right here, we're going to see him against the OKC Thunder on Tuesday, which was his first game back, where he catches the ball at the free throw line. And for some reason, OKC is kind of hesitant to send a double team, so they let Jalen Williams try to handle him 1-on-1, and we'll see how that goes for him. So you see he bumps him off with a little shoulder bump and hits a little step-back jumper. In this next clip, we'll see he got the switch. This is his second game back against the Heat. He got the switch on Jimmy Butler, who is a great defender, as we know, but is just too small and is not physically strong enough to be able to handle Embiid. So Embiid actually has the ball a little deeper than he would like to have it. So he knows he has to get lower and get to the free throw line. So he does just that, and then simply turns and fades over the top and knocks down the jumper. In this next clip, he actually catches it way too far out. He catches it at the three-point line, and so he's going to have to use some of his ball handling skills to create some space. So he simply does a between-the-legs crossover into a step back. So as you can see, it's pretty much impossible to stop Joel Embiid one-on-one. It's pretty much impossible to stop it from getting to his spots and getting to the shot that he wants. So the next best option is obviously to send the double team, and that's exactly what the Thunder do on this possession right here. So the Thunder decide to send a double from the top side. So they send this guy to come double Embiid. They actually are also going to have Josh Giddey come and be like a third defender, and then you also have the other two defenders in Chet and Lou Dort are eyes on Joel Embiid. So you would think this would lead to a wide open shot for one of his teammates, but as we'll see as the clip plays, is here comes the double, boom, Josh Giddey's in help, double teamed, he could swing it to Oubre could swing it to Payne, but instead, he'll just raise up and do it himself. Again, against the Heat right here, we'll see the Heat are running that matchup zone that they like to run that throws teams off, especially when it comes to playoff time. So technically, real fast, I'll just draw it out. Everybody on the court has a matchup. So Jaquez is matched here, Kevin Love is matched here, Jimmy Butler is technically matched here, Caleb Martin's on the ball, and obviously you got the guy on Embiid. So everything's fine and good in the world right now. So Campaign enters the ball to Embiid, and they instantly blitz him, sending 3 doubles. So you would think the first option for Embiid would be to throw it right here to Buddy Hield and let him knock down the jumper, but that's actually not what happens. Instead, he turns, spins out of the triple team, and lays the ball up. So as you can see, sometimes even a double team is not good enough, and it will not even work to slow down Embiid. But it's not necessarily what these double teams do for Embiid and what they do for him being able to score, because he's always going to be able to get his. He's going to get his 30, 35 points a game, but it's what these double teams and what his gravity and his presence on the floor opens up for the rest of his teammates. So in this next clip right here, we'll see a double team that leads to a wide open layup for Kelly Oubre. So it starts off with a ball screen. Oubre kicks it to the pot for Embiid. Embiid attacks, and here comes the double. So Nicholas Batum is recognizing that the double team is happening. Oubre is recognizing that the double team is happening. Nicholas Batum sees his man Chet is eyes on Joel Embiid, so he knows he's not paying attention to me, so he takes advantage of this and cuts baseline. After he cuts, Oubre sees there's an opening, so he does a slot cut, and it goes one pass to Batum, back to Oubre for a layup. Double. Here comes the cut, the flash, one more. Actually should have been and one. So you see off of the double team, you got an easy look for that one right there. In this next clip, it's a sideline out of bounds play, so Batum is going to enter it to Embiid in the post, and then they're going to run a split action out of this. So Batum is actually going to come screen for Buddy Hield, and then he has an option to split either way. Hield could curl it, whatever. They're just reading the defense. So Embiid is reading this man right here, and so is Nicholas Batum. So Lou Dort backs up a little bit, like he's going to drop into help, and then he's actually going to sprint and come double the ball. And Batum recognizes this. So as the play develops, Batum comes and sets this screen, and he realizes his man is lost, and so does Embiid. So he instantly screens and slips. Embiid takes a second. He finds him on a mismatch. Layup. Another assist by Embiid out of a double team. This next play is late in the game. Philly's down 1. So it's simply Kyle Lowry's going to enter it to Embiid in the post, and at this point in the game, the Thunder know they cannot allow a one-on-one matchup with Embiid this deep in the post. So what they're going to do is they're actually going to send this guy on a quick double, and as that happens, we're going to see the defense is in rotation. So the double comes. This guy, Chet, has to rotate to next man. Next man concept, simple next man. Lou Dort has to leave Oubre and come to this man. But that's a quick rotation, and Kyle Lowry knows the defense is in rotation. So he actually just catches it and instantly goes one more to Tobias Harris. Lou Dort's a step slay. And yeah, he misses the shot, but the defense is in rotation, so that allows for Embiid to get offensive rebound because they were unable to box him out. This clip is actually a lot more simple. It don't even involve any double teams, but we see Embiid is bringing the ball up, and he puts a ton of pressure on the defense. So you see he's not even really done anything yet, but you can see here that Chet pretty much has 2 feet in the paint while he's supposed to be matched up here guarding Tobias Harris, and that is simply too much space. This is kind of what you teach in rec league and youth ball, 2 feet in the paint, whatever, but in the NBA, with the spacing, that is way too much space even for a 7-footer to close with a guy like Tobias Harris there. So Embiid recognizes this. He simply attacks, kicks, one pass, jumper. Yeah, semi-contested, but that's still a good look for Tobias Harris. This next one, we've got Embiid. He's going to catch it on the wing, and he's going to throw it to Tobias Harris in the corner, dribble handoff into a screen. Tobias Harris is going to deny the screen, dribble baseline. He's going to turn around and pass it right back to Embiid, and Embiid's going to rip and go. So typically, at least my brain goes to, in the NBA level and really on any level, you do not help off of strong side corner. So my brain goes to thinking the help is going to come from here and these two guys. That's where the help should come from because Embiid is driving right. But instead, this guy is going to take a step over. And again, it's a situation where when you have a shooter that has a quick release like Tobias Harris and a high release point, that one step is deadly. And Embiid knows that. So he simply takes one dribble right, kicks it out to the 3. Another assist by Embiid. So as you can see just from those few clips, Embiid he draws so much attention while he's on the floor. And those were just possessions that he got a good shot himself or he created a good shot for one of his teammates. And that was also a game where Tyrese Maxey didn't play. So this game against the Heat, they were both playing, and we got to see a lot more of their two-man game and how dynamic they were able to be in that two-man game. I put them right behind Jokic and Murray as far as the most unguardable two-man actions in the league. So on this one right here, we see Embiid set a down screen. The ball gets thrown to Maxey. Maxey instantly turns, tosses it off to Embiid into a dribble handoff screen. So there's the dribble handoff, and Rozier is already off balance. He's already trailing the play, and this is Tyrese Maxey, who's extremely fast, so he's already got him on him hip. So at this point, Bam Adebayo has to make a decision. He either has to commit all the way to Tyrese Maxey and rely on his help defenders back here to guard Embiid, or he has to let him go. And again, we can't help. Jimmy cannot help off this strong side corner, so you got to hope that the help comes from here. And as we'll see, neither one of those things happen, and they get kind of stuck in between. Tyrese Maxey rips off, no help, wide open layup off of that screen. Again, a few plays later, they run the same action. Down screen for Maxey, give it to him, into a ball screen. So this time, the same situation is occurring. Bam Adebayo has to make a decision. Do I come up and guard Maxey and switch this, or do I trap it? Because Tyrese Maxey is so dynamic with the ball in his hands, he has to make a decision. In this case, he doesn't come up far enough. Again, Rozier's trailing, and you've got a good pull-up jumper for Tyrese Maxey. So they're just putting the defense in a crazy bind right there that there's nothing really you can do. Again, we have another DHO between Joel Embiid and Maxey, and we'll see that Maxey's going to take it on a dribble handoff. He's going to take it this way. Neither one of them is going to commit. Rozier is going to be on his hip. and he's going to get a wide open look on the left wing right here. And he missed it, but still, it was a good look, and that's all you can ask for when you're running something with those two. Again, simple pick and roll, two for one situation. I think I'm giving them a break here because this is where they need to get better at, just their decision making out of this, because this is a simple pick and roll. You got Miami feels comfortable because you've got their two best defenders guarding them. Still, the pick happens. Bam gives him enough space to get a shot off, and yeah, he contested it, and it was a miss, but they got a good look to go 2 for 1 at the end of the half. The last clip I wanted to show is it's not a ball screen. It's not any type of action really in between them. They just ISO these two on the same side of the floor. So as the play goes on, you'll see you got Maxey and Embiid have got the entire side of the floor. Bam is fronting Embiid, and Maxey knows this. Maxey knows that no matter what happens right here, this space, Maxey knows that no matter what happens right here, Bam is not going to give Embiid any space. So he uses this to his advantage as he drives towards the baseline. Bam is not going to leave Embiid. He's got one-on-one with Rozier, and he hits a little step-back jumper. That was a clutch jumper late in the game. So as we saw with those plays, really all those plays were more offensively driven plays, but Embiid also has a huge impact on the defensive end of the floor, and that can also lead to offense in transition. So on this play right here, we see Lou Dort gets the ball in a cut. Embiid is able to contest the shot at the rim, clean rebound, and here we go off to the races in transition. That leads to a one-pass three by Tobias Harris. So, again, on the defensive end of the floor, I was just more looking to see if he looked healthy, and to me he did. Like if we have another example right here of the ball gets swung around and he has to come out on the perimeter. So you see him, he gets low in a stance, slide, contest, hands active, closes the space on the step back and forces the ball to move. So he looks pretty healthy. He's moving pretty good. And then the last clip I want to show is we see right here that in transition he had to pick up Lou Dort, who tries to hit him with a little hesitation. He gets down, slides, forces a pass, which he did get help from Nicholas Batum, which allowed Chet to drive to the rim. But Embiid sees that, recovers, forces another pass, and it leads to a jumper by Isaiah Joe. So you can see his impact on the defensive end of the floor is just he's all over the place, and it was really shown on this last play where it's late in the game, they're up 1. They get a switch right here. Embiid is guarding Josh Giddey, so he has to get down in the stance once again and slide his feet and get active hands. And he does that, rips the steal, and goes and lays it up on the other end of the floor. Actually, he gets fouled. And this was really the game-sealing play of this game. So just in these 2 games back, we can see the impact that he has on this team on the offensive end and the defensive end of the floor. Again, mainly based off of those defensive clips I showed, you can see that he is feeling good. It looks like, in my opinion, he's not really hurting any. He don't really seem limited in any way. So it seems like he's healthy, and it seems like they're gonna try to get him in shape in these last 5-6 games and try to really make a push at this thing. And I'm glad to see him back because, like I said, he just completely unlocks this team and puts them on a whole different level.